What's up guys, MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and welcome to the Steve Fox Tekken 8 breakdown. One of my favorite Tekken characters, got to sit down quite a bit with him in Tekken 8, and he's amazing. I will play him a lot when the game drops. I really like what they've done to his gameplay. And here you see one of his presets. Looks really cool, right? I almost prefer this to his default outfit. I think this is really cool. And here you see Yoshimitsu and a super cool stage. This is Yoshi's second preset. Really cool stuff. But so anyway, with Steve, even in the trailer, already I felt like they were doing great things to him. They were really pushing his identity. You know how they've removed... He's the counter hit king, right? Always has been. But in Tekken 7, he's challenged a lot in the neutral by like Magic 4s, back ones, other characters back ones like Kings. That stuff is faster than his back one, you know, Magic 4s. But due to system changes in this game, they nerfed all of the Magic 4s. They all have to commit to super unsafe stuff. His back one is still a launcher, still has all of its properties. So now he's sort of the uncontested king of a neutral and king of a counter hit. And in turn, they nerfed his punishment. So to make that contrast even bigger and really like push identity, which they've done so well with many characters in this game. Like King, for example. Well, he's a wrestler. Have him do throws. What's up with all of this poking and counter hits? Remove that stuff. So they're doing such a good job with the gameplay design. But so he's also, I think he's going to be extremely strong. You know, Steve really likes a game where, you know, there are big sidesteps in this game. Steve doesn't really give a fuck. He's always had excellent tracking with 1-2-1 and his homing stuff. But also, backdashes are nerfed, so you can't really easily avoid his pressure. Steve really, really likes that as well, when you stay up close to him. Obviously, that's where he's at his strongest. And also, yeah, back one uncontested in the neutral. All of this adds up to him being really strong. And his new stance is you are going to hate his new stance. You know that they show in the trailer. I didn't check the name of it, where he starts shifting with his feet, and he has such an oppressive mix-up in this stance, and he has so many ways of entering this stance. So I'm just gonna play this video here in the background, and everything will be explained. They've also removed a lot of his knockdowns. Like, you know, his stomps, down back 3-2, that he usually does at the wall, short range stomp that knocks you down into a guaranteed follow-up, or the jumping stomp into punch that also knocks down into guaranteed follow-up. None of those knock down anymore. They don't want you to go for, you know, Oki stuff with Steve anymore. It's all about frames. But they don't knock down, but they give you the new stance. And your your opponent is going to very quickly start hating that stance. But so we're going to get to all of it. So here we have a recording of me doing stuff. You see 1-2-1, still -1 when I go into flicker. So here is flicker 1 down 1, still neutral on block. And I'm just doing the classic Steve stuff to check that the frames are the same. And everything seems the same. Rocket launcher there, you saw -3 on block. So please bear with me. We're looking at this stuff first, and then I'm going to go to the really good stuff. Oh, and in heat, you know the clinch you see in the trailer when he's in heat? And he ducks in, grabs the opponent, and does this huge throw. Oh. He has a mix-up here. The 2 button is the throw you see in the trailer, but then he has a 1 button throw, which I first thought was like, well, this doesn't seem that bad. And then as I labbed it a little bit more, I was like, oh my god. But again, we're gonna get to it. I feel like I'm blue balling you guys hard now, because this stuff is so boring. But so here you see the new down for 2, and as we saw in the trailer, it doesn't even launch anymore. So Shiro is gone, doesn't launch, but gives Gatling. And you can do the Wild Man here. See? But this is very strict. I think you have 1 frame of leniency to be able to Wild Man here. I don't think it's frame perfect, but it's very strict. So Wild Man does the most damage and leaves them in your face. But this is the easy option. Gatling for 42 and wall splat. Huge damage. They've made Gatling easier to do. I could now sit with a pad and just mash my bind for 1+2. I could just mash this like this, and I would get Gatling every single time. We've made it very easy. It's actually quite strict in 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 in Tekken 7. So that's simplification. Simplified the execution. Gatling is easy. Anyone can do it. Wild Man. 2 more damage, right? So this gives 44 and gives me +3 frames and leaves Yoshi crouching in front of my face where I want him. And this is into 1-1, +3, 31, so not the best option here. But safer, I guess, safer. We can still duck the second hit if you think you're gonna drop the Wild Man. So now I'm going to show the damage here when I do Gatling. As I'm recording this, I know I'm recording this for YouTube, so I choke. I choke a lot and I drop it about 500 times. So that, yeah, that's not how we want it. He slides off the wall. So here I do rocket launcher into wall combo. I dropped the Gatling. It's almost impossible to do. It was too hard for old man to mash one button. Oh god, sorry boys. Let's laugh together at the drops and the chokes. There we go. So that's 80 damage. And again, I'm not even using a bound here. Because what I should be doing here in Tekken 8, you know, you can bound at the wall. So I guess it would add like at least 7 to 10 damage if I just did, for example, Peekaboo DP. You can do that to bound. So you would do Gatling onto the wall, rocket launcher, bound, and then 4-2-1 Gatling. It would probably do, I mean, close to half-life. From a down for 2 counter it, which is still -2 on block, by the way, when you duck cancel. So, yeah, Shiro is gone. But I don't know if I see this as a nerf or a buff. It's hard to tell, to be honest. And here's back 1. And what you'll note with back 1 is that it still recovers quickly on whiff. Wait, I showed the block flame there. It still recovers quickly on whiff. It still has its same huge, juicy hitbox. Still comes out at 13 frames. You'll see that if I cancel it to flicker, it's still -1 on block. It still remains the back 1 you know, counter hit launcher. But a crucial distinction is that it actually did get a nerf, and you'll see it now. Very small damage. And if you look at the data there, the hit properties, you'll note that it only did now on counter hit 12 damage. You see? Counter hit back 1, so not normal hit, counter hit does 12 damage. So that's obviously a nerf to it, right? But it's still a 13 frame launcher that's -1 on block, recovers super quickly. There's no other move like it in the game now. It's all been removed. So I think us, the people who enjoy Steve, we can live with the fact that it has reduced damage. But then, you know, you get a big juicy combo. So here, back 1. I do extended duck in blue spark, and then 2-2 is the bound, and then you get another extended duck in blue spark. Sonic Fang. Sonic Fang is done by pressing 1+2 alone. 1+2. Downward 1+2 now is, of course, the universal rage art input. So Sonic Fang, 1+2, still 14 frames, heat engager. If you're in heat when you do it, it will not launch. It will knock down for a down back 2. If you dash out. 73 damage. Not optimal, but yeah. Flicker 2 is still a counter hit launcher. While standing 2 is no longer a counter hit launcher though, so he lost that one. He did lose a couple of counter hit launches. I mean, yeah, down for 2, you know. Here is the new stance. If I input back, so, you know, forward 3-4 is peekaboo, back 3-4 is flicker, back 3-4 is the new stance, where he starts shifting his feet. Too slow, that one. He also accesses this stance if he does back 1-2 or forward 2-2. It automatically happens. Back 1-2, forward 2-2, standing 4 when he steps right into shoulder 2 goes into the new stance. Doesn't launch. Doesn't counter at launch anymore. They removed that. Instead goes into the stance. Both the stomps, I told you before, they go into the new stance. Many ways of going into this. And it has the most oppressive mix-up that you saw in the trailer. Either he does a high, very fast, boom, but on guard, breaks the guard and gives Steve 12 frames where the opponent can't block. You can do 1-1-2, or you can do 2-1 into peekaboo. Guaranteed. Very strong. And if your opponent tries to duck or sidestep, because the high is very linear, right? If you try to duck or sidestep, like any defensive option to beat the high, he has a homing, super fast mid heat engager. That's -9 on block. It's not even punishable. It almost feels like a fucking Gigas Rage Drive mix-up. It's so strong. Or it almost feels like something a character would have access to in Heat. It's just so oppressive. And he also has, I showed you before, a mid-uppercut from here. That's a launcher. It screws immediately, but it's only -13 on block. So thank God, you know, it's not unsafe. No, it's not safe, but still, it's like, this stance is going to be a nightmare to deal with. An absolute nightmare. Like, his pressure is so insane. So what they've done is, you know, in short, again, like, solidify his counter identity, give him insane pressure, but they've really nerfed his defense. In that, you know, his punishment is shit now. Back 2 doesn't launch anymore. Crouching a full crouch down for 2, you know, to launch sweeps, it bounds immediately. Didn't do that in Tekken 7, it allowed you to bound. So they've nerfed all of that shit just to give him more contrast in his gameplay, like solidify the identity. But also nerfing, in terms of system changes, you know, as I told you, nerfing backdash helps Steve, and here you see how linear the high is in this new stance. It doesn't track well. Nerfed backdash helps Steve. Nerfed low parry does not help Steve. Steve, due to his poor punishment, really loved the low parry in Tekken 7. The fact that he could just float lows and do a combo. So that's a system change that doesn't work in Steve's favor, though. So here you see 4-2-2, which is a new string. The old 4-2-2 is gone. Here you see the guard break. 2-1 peekaboo. Guaranteed. And down back 3-2 into new stabs. Into the mid uppercut. -13. -13. And as you can see, it bounds immediately, the uppercut. Very strong though. And there's the mid. You see -9. Heat engager. Disgusting stuff. So yeah, I gotta say, like, the new stance, we'll see if it's overtuned, but you know, there's a lot of overtuned stuff so far in this game, but I really like Steve's gameplay. And this is forward 2-2, 1+2. So here, we're gonna make sure it doesn't follow me. Oh. Oh, did I demonstrate already? Wait, what was it on block? I don't remember. But here you see, while sending 2 is no longer a countered launcher. Instead, now you do while sending 2-2 into new stance. Right, so here I show the new string, -12 on block. But here, if you miss the first hit and the second hit counter hits, It's a natural on counter hit for 51 damage. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's like when Steve presses forward 2 on you, like he has quite a few options. He has this new string. He can still do forward 2-1 into peekaboo or flicker, right? And now he can forward 2-2 into the new super oppressive stance. So like the mix-up utility on that string alone now is like, you know, it's pretty staggering. So this is the clinch that you saw in the trailer. When you're in heat, down 3-4, he does a super fast duck in, where if you press 1 or 2, he does instant blue spark 1 or the instant blue spark 2, the duck in versions. But if you do a normal throw here, 1-3, he does a clinch. And now he has 2 options, 1 or 2. 2, these are breakable. 2, you break by pressing 2. 1, you break by pressing 1. And this is the 1 option. Again, this is 2 option, you saw in the trailer. 50 damage, right? And really cool animation. I really like that one. Here's the 1 option. It doesn't look like much, right? 3 gut punches. Oh, 15 damage. Not that bad, right? But when you see the frames there and you note that, oh, plus 14. Oh, okay. Yeah. Those are 14 frames where the opponent can't block. Yep. So we can Sonic Fang. And of course, we might still be in heat, right? And I can back 1 too, of course, into the new stance. Should I want to? Here we go, at the wall. Sonic Fang, dash out a bit. Wall combo. And again, I could have bounded there. So it's like you're starting to see here, right, that there are some disgusting mix-ups here. And when he's in heat, like, especially at the wall has always been a strong situation for Steve, where he can apply more of a 50-50 gameplay. He has a wall shove, which is still in the game, where he grabs you and slams you into the wall, and that throw has a very small break window, 15 frames. It's very strict. It slams you into the wall, and he gets a guaranteed 1-1-2. Now, when he's in heat, he can threaten you with a clinch, where he can do a 1-1-1 throw into a Sonic Fang wall splat, or other types of wall splats. It's pretty scary stuff, you know. So, you know, extremely oppressive. It's a really cool combo. Back 1, duck in, 4-1-2. Into new stance, down 4-2. I love his heat smash. Fang! And I really like his voice lines. Like, it's been no secret, I haven't been that happy with his voice actor. Like, especially the wind poses, they're kind of cringe. Like, he sounds like a 7-year-old. But the lines he says when he's actually in-game fighting, bang! It sounds pretty cool. Come on! Come on! Come on. Upper. I mean, you hear the lines here. It sounds good. I think. Uppercut. I don't know if I demonstrate that much more here. So there you see Sonic Fang into Heat Dash. It knocks down. It doesn't work. And there's the wall shot. Still gives 1-1-2. That's still guaranteed, as you can see. So that wall shove from the side gives more frames, and I can still do a rocket launcher. He was a little bit limited in his bound options, though. His Peekaboo DP is a bound. 2-2 is a bound. Back 1 down to 1 is a bound. But I honestly believe that's it. Those were the bounds. And there you see, huge nerf. Back 2 is his fastest launcher. 17 frames. Right? In Tekken 7. Doesn't launch anymore. Gives us Sonic Fang. That's it. That's a huge nerf to the character. Like now against Steve, the fastest launcher he will have is manual Peekaboo DP. Which is very slow and hard to do as well. So, yeah, you will get away with murder against Steve. He can't launch you anymore. So it's... He is now a character where he has to preemptively beat you out. He has to hit you as you are pressing. Right? Counter hit, not punish, like ever. But it's interesting because it's so unique. It's so unique. Oh, and I'm an idiot. Full crouch down for 2 doesn't bound immediately. Oh, I'm okay. I was thinking of his down for 2 from his new string. So okay, they didn't nerf full crouch down for 2. My mistake. God damn it. So much information to try and keep track of in my very old head here. But so that's it for Steve. I think I told you everything I wanted to say. Again, take everything with a grain of salt. It's still very new. But so far, I really like Steve. I think he's looking really cool, and I think we've done a great job with him. So I hope you enjoyed this breakdown, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.